Hello everyone and welcome to Claret and Booze. My name's Nick. I hope you're all well. I don't feel stressed. I've just watched a game of football and I feel alright. I feel alright for the first time for a long time. Before we get into it, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe, drop a like on the video because it does really help us. So West Ham 2, Bournemouth 2. Was dreading the game, as I think most of us were. It was better. By no means perfect. We're going to pick the bones out of it now, but it was definitely better than we've seen before. He went to Fore at the back, which is fantastic. That's what we've been asking for. Tadebo's back. Obviously, Scholes did struggle. I think it was right that he came off in the second half. You know, he wasn't terrible, but he was definitely struggling. So I thought that was, the right thing to do was to bring Emerson on for the second half. The lineup was wrong. He got it wrong again. He did. I mean, it was better because it was Fore at the back. But there was just too many central midfielders. I don't know why we have to force and shoehorn Soucek and James Ward-Prowse into that team by hook or by crook. I don't get why he feels he needs that safety blanket of those two. I don't. But he does, and that's the reason why Fullkrug wasn't playing. It wasn't because he had a knock. We saw how effective he was when he came on. Did he look like he had a knock to you? He didn't. We need to have a striker in this team. We need to. Bowen struggles. He's really been struggling in this three at the back system, trying to play up front. He looked a different player when Fullkrug came on in that second half. He looked back to his best, which was one of the reasons we improved when Fullkrug did come on. Like I said, it was wrong. The football weren't terrible. Don't get me wrong. We was playing much higher. We was knocking it about all right, but we was doing nothing. Absolutely bugger all. We weren't really threatening them at all. It was the same old, really. You know, loads of possession, not doing nothing with it. But it did feel like we was in control in periods of that first half until they scored. Ridiculous goal from Ariella, ridiculous mistake. I mean, I don't know what he did there. You know, you've got to, in that situation, he should be holding on to that ball anyway, but, you know, worst way, don't take any risks, just push it out. You know, in the opposite direction to the bloody out the 6-yard box. That was bad. So we gave them a goal, which was stupid. They did have other chances in that half where we should have been punished anyway. Early on with Evan Nielsen with that header, that should have been a goal. There was a few others as well. So I think on the balance of play, they were definitely more threatening and the better team in the first half. And I was bored come the end of it because we felt the pieces towards the end of that first half as well. And I was amazed that he didn't bring Fullkrug on for the second half, and he left it 10 minutes. Again, it's like he needed that safety blanket of James Ward-Prowse and Soucek. Sorry, the dogs have just got out. Which is maddening. You know, I don't know why he didn't come straight on. You saw the difference it made. There was a stat that flashed up on Sky Sports where it said that we had our first shot on goal 7 minutes after Fullkrug came on, which is so frustrating. Why not start like that? You know, I do sometimes feel, we saw it with Lopetegui sometimes, where it felt like we was fielding weakened starting lineups, and then throughout the game, we would eventually see the team that should be starting. But I think it's like sometimes these managers want to affect the game with a tactical change, even though all they're basically doing is bringing on players that should be starting a game, but it looks like they've done things that's won the game or got a result. You've got to start with your strongest team. We've got to play with a striker. Do you know what? When you're playing on the front foot like we did in that second half, you could use Ferguson as well. So I know Fullkrug's only just come back and he is looking good, very good. When you play on the front foot in the way that we did when Fullkrug came on, Ferguson would have been a lot better than what he was in the first half against Wolves. Guilherme was a lot better. We saw that because we're asking him to do what he's good at, and that's attack, rather than come back and defend. He's not a defender. So he benefited from playing front foot football. And I'm hearing people say, and I've heard people say, oh, you know, you can't say anything about Potter because he just ain't got the team to play the football that you want to play. He has got the fucking team to play the football that I want to play. He ain't got the team to play the football that he wants to play. That's what this boils down to. I got frustrated with Moyes towards the end because he wouldn't field the right team. I got frustrated with Lopetegui. I'm getting frustrated with Potter. We have got good players. When you play in that style, you saw how useless Soucek was today. Useless. if you're playing front foot football like that, Souček's pointless in that team. James Ward-Prowse playing in the CDM and staying on the field in that second half and taking Alvarez off, I've got no clue why that happened. I mean, yeah, Alvarez was pretty anonymous. He weren't playing in position. He was playing in the 8. Why is he playing in the 8? Because he's got more legs than James Ward-Prowse. The only place you can use James Ward-Prowse is in that sort of quarterback role, but then you are kind of leaving yourself open a little bit. He got run past a few times. And he don't really progress the ball very often. We all saw and heard the collective groan from the fans when he ran forward with the ball. It opened up in front of him. He could have carried on with that ball, played a forward pass. He didn't. He shit himself. Stopped, checked, turned around, went back and passed it back. You heard the groan inside that stadium. They all got pissed off with it. I just don't know why he's there. So there's a lot of improvements that can be made with this. And yes, we can say it's iterative. He's got to get used to it. But all he did in the second half, he ain't trying to stumble on some amazing formula. Basically, what works is playing the system that we all know we should be playing, which is a 4-3-3 or something to that effect, 4 at the back, and whatever combination you need in midfield and up front. You know, three forwards. Bowen's got to be an inside forward on the right. We need one on the left, whether it's Caboose or Guilherme, and we've got to have a striker, whether it's Fullkrug or the other geezer, Ferguson. And you don't need James Ward-Prowse and Souček. You just don't. You've got Alvarez, you've got Paqueta, and if you're playing that style of football, you've got Soler. He'll thrive. This is the type of football that he's used to playing. He played for PSG. He's a front foot player. He's no good if you want to defend. You know, if you want to play defensive football. Play like that, he shits on Souček and James Ward-Prowse. He's twice the player. So yes, we have got the players. Now we're going up against Liverpool next. I don't want to see us regress. I want to see him learn. There's positives to take out of this. And I don't want to see him go backwards. I don't want to see him go back to 5 at the back because we're playing Liverpool and put 3 defensive midfielders in there. No. You know, if you're going to look at that as a dead rubber, use that to just entertain us. You know, that was entertaining. I enjoyed the game. We didn't, like I said, we didn't create anywhere near as much as what we need to, but it was far better. It was. Absolutely great header from Fullkrug as well. Didn't even talk about our goals. Great header from Fullkrug. Great header from Bowen. 2 brilliant headers. And then they scored another goal, which probably shouldn't have been because I don't think it was a foul by James Ward-Prowse. So both of their goals, even though, which is really confusing because our XG, I don't understand how fucking XG works. XG, we had 0.65 coming into that game. And they had 2.28 or something. Their goals were lucky as shit, really. You know, the one with Areola, that shouldn't have happened. And that one, that was a combination of poor defending, but it originated from a free kick, which should never have been. So we was a bit hard done by as well, you know. We got a point out of it. Probably should have got more. I mean, we was lucky because they missed a few chances. But nonetheless, they didn't score them. So, yeah, I sort of come away from that feeling quite satisfied. And I'm hoping that he learns. I'm hoping that the penny is finally dropped. You've got the players to play front foot football and play the players in their strongest positions, and you'll get the best out of them. I know it's amazing. It's amazing, really, when you think about it. But that's all you got to do. You ain't got to reinvent the wheel. They're top players that you've got. One thing that I will say is I do think that I think Fullkrug was a bad signing based on the fact that he's been injured for 2/3 of his career, and he's 31, and we paid a lot of money for him. But I did call him a cart horse and useless. He ain't. He's a really, really good striker. Like, really good. He's a top player. I really like him. I like him. In fact, I wouldn't be against us keeping him. We're going to need another striker as well because you can't rely on him because of his injury record. But when he's fit, that man's useful. Like, you know, he's a real handful. He just bullies defences. And I'd like to see Ferguson also used before the season is out when we're playing like that, because I think you'll see a different Ferguson as well. He ain't got the same ridiculous beastly presence of Fullkrug, but I'll tell you what, he's got more pace. He's got more pace, so he's got different assets to his game. Yeah, if you play like that, look at Guilherme, first half against Wolves versus, you know, the last 15, 20 minutes against Bournemouth. Look at the difference. He was purring, you know. Stupid decision at the near post. He should have squared it to Fullkrug, but he wants a goal. You know, he wants to make his stamp. I get it. I like it. Yeah, I thought he was good. Yeah, Soler was good. Don't know why he took Tadebo off on 87 minutes and rolled the dice and brought Mavropanos on. Because if that goes wrong, Mavropanos makes a mistake and that leads to a goal, mate, I wouldn't want to be him. So I don't know why he did that. You can't tell me that Tadebo can't play the last 8-9 minutes. Why? Why do it? Unless it's because we need the height in there, because Kilman, as tall as he is shit in the air. I don't think Tadebo's particularly great. So Mavropanos, for all of his faults, is good. He's good in the air. He does add chaos to, the defence, and he does. But maybe that's why I put him on there. I don't know. But I was sitting there thinking, mate, if he does a Mavro and we concede and we lose 3-2, it ain't going to be very good, is it? But that didn't happen. We drew 2-2. I come away from it feeling relaxed. Not over the moon. Not thinking, wow, what a game I've just watched. But actually thinking that was an acceptable watch. That was a decent game of football. It was exciting. If I'd have been in that stadium, I'd have come out of there feeling fine. Not feeling like I've been ripped off. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day, especially when you're in our current situation where we've got nothing to play for. Those fans are just going there to support their team and they deserve something back. And they got that today. Please just start from the next game picking the right team from the start, though, Potter. None of us think that you're a magician by bringing Fullkrug on 60 minutes into a game and that transforming it. We know we're a better team with Fullkrug in it. So start him, please. Stop fucking around. All right? Anyway, that's it from me. I'm going to get back inside, watch a film, have a beer. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll see you tomorrow for the Sunday night show. Come on, you irons.